The term skills-based hiring is everywhere these days. So much so that it seems like it's often seen as the cure-all for anything and everything related to hiring. In this video, I want to explain what skills-based hiring is and why it's becoming so popular. Skills-based hiring is the idea that companies should focus on assessing the job-related skills and abilities a candidate has when considering candidates for open roles. What this often means in practice is moving away from traditional methods of evaluating candidates, such as requiring a college degree, and also relinquishing the idea that a candidate needs to meet the exact requirements in the job description to even be considered for a role. Another way to think about it is companies should focus on the question of if the candidate has the skills needed for the role, not how they may have acquired those skills. Okay, so degree requirements are out, focusing on skills, and potential is in. But why has skills-based hiring acquired such great momentum all of a sudden? I think there's two main reasons. The first is that people are realizing the old approach to hiring doesn't work very well. And the second is that the historically strong labor market and the talent shortage we're seeing means employers have to be willing to widen the talent profiles they consider. Let's dig into these 2 points. First, research on hiring shows pretty conclusively that educational pedigree is a relatively weak talent signal in terms of predicting job performance. And so among HR people, there's a growing awareness that rather than relying on proxies for job readiness, like a degree requirement, we're better off looking directly at a candidate's job-relevant skills. Requiring degrees for most roles also seems increasingly unfair and misguided in an era in which college costs are making higher education inaccessible to the majority of the population. The second thing is that with historically low unemployment and the demand for labor significantly exceeding supply, companies simply can't afford to systematically exclude 60 to 70% of the population in countries like the US, the UK, and Australia who don't have bachelor's degrees. We're facing a long-term labor scarcity challenge, and to build a sustainable talent strategy in this environment, companies need to learn to filter in applicants who have the skills and competencies needed for a role, rather than filter out based on weak signals like educational level, years of experience, or the keywords that you happen to have put in your resume. If you filter in with a skills-based approach, you'll be able to access talent pools you're ignoring right now that are hiding in plain sight. That's a brief overview of what skills-based hiring is. Check out our next video to learn how to actually do skills-based hiring and see why skills-based hiring may not be going far enough to fix the issues we have with hiring.